Well, we had a statement made in Texas over the weekend. Number 1 Mater Dei taking care of business against number 13 Duncanville. When I mean business, it definitely went down. The Monarchs giving the Panthers, as the kids say, all the smoke in a 45-3 beatdown. Sophomore quarterback Elijah Brown putting on a show, completing 18 of 23 for 269 and 3 in the end zone for them. Taking a look at the rankings outside of Mater Dei, IMG Academy 1-0 after rolling past Bishop Sycamore, and then John Bosco 2-0 after 24-3 win for them, and Austin Westlake 1-0 beat Temple 54-13. You can put them in the conversation when it comes to maybe the top team in Texas after what we saw there for Mater Dei. So outside the top 10, look at, of course, 11 through 24, St. Francis Academy 0-1 after their loss to number 6 St. Thomas Aquinas 38-23, and then Corner Canyon 3-0 from Utah, beating Bigham 35-7, and then of course outside of that 11-24, Bixby 1-0, looking for a chase for their 37th consecutive win there. Interesting to see. All right, let's break this all down with the fellas from MaxPreps. Zack, Poff, and Steve Montoya checking in. And Zack, I'll start with you. Mater Dei delivering against the powerhouse in Duncanville. Didn't look like it. Hanging 45 on them. What did we learn about them moving forward, though?
Hey, we learned California, as you said, man. They brought all the smoke to Texas, and you know, that was a big-time statement win. Anytime you can match up California and Texas, it's a big deal. I thought the game would be a little more competitive, but Mater Dei had different ideas. You know, they started the game off. Damani Jackson, a 5-star USC commit, had a 38-yard pick six. Raleek Brown, a 2022 Oklahoma commit, took it 76 yards for a touchdown on his first carry of the game, and they just dominated in the trenches. The one guy I got to call out is sophomore DeAndre Carter. He's one of the best offensive linemen in the class of 2024, and he had a very dominant performance. There's a chance this guy is going to be a top 10 recruit nationally in the class of 2024 and will contend for that number 1 overall spot. Elijah Brown, the sophomore quarterback, you brought up a stat at the beginning. He threw for nearly 300 and 3 tutties. He had a big-time performance. It was just an all-around effort for Mater Dei, and they really showed why they are the number 1 team in high school football. They're off next week, and then they'll play a couple of non-league games, and then we'll see them get into the Trinity League, which is big boy football, I like to call it. It's the SEC of high school football, and you'll see matchups with St. John Bosco on October 1st, and then they're going to play Servite later down the road. So I think those would be kind of the tough games for Mater Dei down the road. But what a statement, man. This kind of reminded me when Tate Martell and Bishop Gorman rolled out to Texas and smacked Cedar Hill. It was very, very impressive win for the West Coast.
Yeah, the 10th straight win when it comes to the opening week for Mater Dei. On the flip side here, Steve, when you look at Duncanville, that loss, are we looking at Austin Westlake as maybe the best team in Texas? They opened their season beating Temple 54-13 there.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt right now who the number 1 team is in Texas, and they showed why with their big win. They got Cade Klubnik, Clemson commit quarterback. He threw for 226 yards, 3 TDs to start the season. And remember, this team is the back-to-back state champs. They've won 25 straight games. They haven't lost since October 11th of 2019. So although Mater Dei came out and played Duncanville, Westlake, a lot of chatter on Twitter, a lot. And Zack knows best that everybody's saying Mater Dei should have played Westlake. I do hope that the California-Texas series continues on and we always kind of put up California's best against Texas because everybody wants to know who's the best out there. And so Austin Westlake, a team to watch. They play Euless Trinity. Always a tough team this coming week, but look for Westlake to roll to a 3rd straight state title potentially coming up here in 2021.
All right, of course, they're ranked 4th, but that could change, you know, as we go down the regular season here. Zack, Servite making a jump 6 spots up after their 2nd win to 12th in the rankings, giving the Trinity League 3 teams in the top 12. If we're looking at the Friars here, chance they can kind of win this league this year based on what you saw.
I mean, it's tough because you got Mater Dei and St. John Bosco, but I would say this, you know, this is the best team Servite's had in a very long time. A lot of big-time seniors. It starts with the quarterback, Noah Fafita. Dude reminds me of Russell Wilson. He's not the, you know, the height when you talk about quarterbacks, but this guy is just a playmaker. He's able to extend plays, and he's very accurate and has a strong arm. You got T-Mac, a 5-star wide receiver, arguably the best wide receiver in high school football. You got Keon Burnett, a 4-star tight end. And then on defense, they got a bunch of dudes, but all starts in the trenches with Mason Graham. He's currently committed to Boise State right now. recently just landed an offer from Michigan. So I love what Servite's doing, man. Coach Thomas has a big-time squad and a lot of senior leadership. So if this is going to be the year Servite wins that Trinity League championship, it will be this year. But the way Mater Dei looked to start the year, and then, St. John Bosco's looked very good. They're 2-0. They beat Alemany, and they beat Miami Central to start the year. So it's going to be tough. But, Servite's getting close to the top 10. And that was a very, very impressive win last week against a very talented Mission Viejo squad. Teams usually don't beat Mission Viejo 44-7. So that was a good statement win for Servite and Coach Thomas here early in the season.
Yeah, 44 points is something you might want to look at there. We're talking about the regular season. Steve, interesting to see Southlake 1-0 after Kaden Anderson making a debut after replacing, a guy named Quinn Ewers that happens to be at Ohio State, though. Chances we see the Dragons in the mix to compete for their first state title since 2011.
Yeah, there's obviously huge question marks with the #1 quarterback leaving in Quinn Ewers, but Anderson said, hold up, wait a minute, I can play. And he showed us he could play. 261 yards, 3 TDs. He ran for another. He made some really good passes, and he looked sharp. And he's got playmakers all over, too. South Carolina commit Landon Sampson had a big game, 2 TDs. And I'm telling you, watch out for Owen Allen, too, man. The 2023 running back, he rushed for over 2,000 yards, 28 TDs last year as a sophomore, and in the first game as a junior, he comes out and rushes for 215 yards. So Southlake Carroll has a chance to get back to a state title. Won't be easy, but they have a chance, and Kaden Anderson looked very, very good in week 1.
All right, of course, a few weeks on the schedule now. Zach, I'm curious, there's 3 new teams, though, in the top 25 for you.
Dude, first of all, if you're ranked number 7 in my rankings, good luck, because they're so far 0-2 in back-to-back weeks. But it all starts with Buford, man. This is a team that's won back-to-back state titles, won 5A in 2019, 6A in 2020. They check in at number 22 in this week's top 25, and they got dudes all over the place. But the defense last week against Clark Central balled out. They held them to negative yards by halftime, 16-3. But the most impressive win was the week before against North Cobb, especially after North Cobb beat Milton the following week, too. And then, they're the second highest rated team from Georgia now. And then you look at the next team, you got number 23, Corona Centennial. They had a big win against a very good and the best team from San Diego, Cathedral Catholic. They put a 57 burger on them. It's the most points that Dawn's defense has allowed since 2003. And they got dudes everywhere. They got a couple of quarterbacks. They switch in and out. Izzy Carter and Carson Conklin, both 2023 cats. You got Malachi Riley at wide receiver. And they have a big-time secondary led by Notre Dame-bound corner Jaden Mickey and 2023 Aaron Williams. And then you look at Bixby, man. We get Oklahoma in the mix, checking in at number 25. This squad's won 3 consecutive 6A to state titles. And they got a dude, Braylon Presley. This dude is one of the sauciest cats in high school football. He's a 2022 Oklahoma State commit. This dude gets it done, one of the best all-around playmakers in the country. And Christian Burke came in and stepped in at quarterback, replacing Mason Williams, and he threw for 5 tutties and almost 300 yards last week. They get Jenks this week, so it's good. The top 2 teams in Oklahoma are going to battle out on Friday, so that's going to be a big-time test for Bixby as they jump in the rankings here in the top 25.
Interesting how things pan out. In other words, must-see TV for high school football. We're finally getting the vibes we saw in 2019 in full effect nowadays. Zack, Poff, and Steve Montoya, appreciate your time breaking everything down, talking to top 25 in high school football. Don't forget the fellas will keep it going. MaxPreps, you got to check them out from rankings, schedules, rosters as well. We just talked about Mater Dei, putting everything and everyone on notice, a part of that Trinity League. Oh, don't forget, Servite is there. The Friars also undefeated. The conversation continues. Make sure you follow the guys there at MaxPrep throughout the football season.